Okay, today is October 14, 2017. This week I was up in Fresno to testify before the city council. They wanted to adopt an ordinance that basically would throw out convenience zone recyclers in the city. They're not the only ones. This is happening across the state. And there is a war against recyclers. And within recycling, there's a war against the poor. I'll delineate on that a little bit, but recycling is not something that's endeared in the cities these days. More and more cities are getting more and more restrictive on their ordinances, and I think it's in a hope to get rid of poor people, or not poor people, but the homeless people. And in talking with people who've observed it, who experience it, looking at research in the media, all the discussions about the poor, all the studies, homeless, this isn't going to fix anything. The first thing I would say is in attending a meeting up in Sacramento in regards to the beverage container program, one of the attendants from San Francisco said when they closed all their grocery store convenience zone type operators, private property damage went up, car break-ins went up. In my experience, recycling beverage containers has given those people who are homeless, those people who struggle with poverty, a positive opportunity to earn additional income to survive, to exist. In Fresno, they said that people could go to the existing places in the commercial areas. I don't think it was well thought through. What does that mean? It means that the poor, the ones that don't have vehicles, that are walking, maybe pushing shopping carts, or need to push shopping carts now because they've got to go a long way, are going to go through the residential areas that they don't want them in. Children, a lot of children recycle, and they'll now have to walk through commercial areas and residential areas around trucks, traffic. This wasn't thought out. And one of the most glaring deficiencies with Fresno is the councilman who's sponsoring this thinks that the grocery store should be taking these containers back, and they made the money off of them, they should take them back. That's his comment. But he doesn't really realize the extent of the work that's involved. Grocery stores count containers. An expert appeared at the first council meeting and explained that those 16 locations that they're going to shut down recycle 10 million plus containers per day. Imagine grocery stores trying to count those. Or imagine more people going to those 6 locations in the commercial areas and getting it done on a timely and expeditious basis. They deserve good service. We're going to try to see if there's common issues. In Fresno, the biggest issue is that there was such a rush to pass this ordinance that they broke their own rules. Number one, the Planning Commission had voted unanimously to turn down this proposal if the city is to follow its own procedures, which comes from its rules of procedures. If they're going to change the proposal, which they did, it needs to go back, needs to be public discussion, needs to be a public hearing before the Planning Commission again, and then a recommendation from Planning Commission. In Fresno right now, the only recommendation they have is to oppose, not to pass this. So they're completely ignoring the committee that they set up to advise them. This is not good government. This is not good government practice. And Simply stated, one of the things I've learned is that you must hold politicians on all levels accountable for their actions. And you can't let them go in and make up and break the rules anytime they want to. So we're going to watch this as it plays out. I think there may be a lawsuit coming to Fresno. I've done some research. I'm looking to find a good firm that could represent people and give us a sure thing on the backside. We'll see how that plays out, but I know a lot of cities are watching this, and we'd hope that they'd do a little better job. What is that job? Go to the recycling centers and look who's recycling and talk to them. I'll link another video that I helped in its creation, a grad student from SC, and we went and visited some recycling centers, and she interviewed people as who's recycling and why. And when you understand who's recycling and why, you'll understand that you don't want to make it more difficult for these people. So with Fresno, they didn't study who was recycling. It's a town with over 25% of people, population in the poverty rates. And those are the people who are recycling for the money to get gas for the car, to buy a prescription for the kid, go to the laundromat, whatever, buy food. This is what's happening with this money. And Fresno wants to make it difficult, and other cities are doing the same. So let's see if we can find a better solution as we go through this. But right now, be aware that there is a war on recyclers and there's a war on the poor. Let's hope we find better solutions. Thank you.